Dave Berk, First Star Football Report. As the Ohio high school football season draws near, we look at another conference that should have some great battles. In this video, we'll talk about the Greater Western Ohio Conference. Could this be the year the GWOC produces a Division I state champion? Will the GWOC be the toughest conference to win in Southwest Ohio? We hope to answer those questions and more in the following video. We want to thank First Star Logistics for their continued support of First Star Football Report. If you're looking for a new career, contact First Star Logistics. They are hiring. Out with the old, in with the new. The Greater Western Ohio Conference looks a bit different as some changes have happened. 8 teams now make up the conference, with Lebanon and Trotwood Madison being out. However, the 2 teams that won their respective divisions a year ago remain as the Springfield WILDCATS and Springboro PANTHERS look ready to compete in a conference-only season. In Springfield, head coach Maurice Douglas returns talent after going 12-2 last season and just missing a state title game appearance with a loss to Cincinnati Elder. The Wildcats return junior quarterback Tayshawn Smoot, who showed great poise a season ago while passing for 2,470 yards and 21 touchdowns. Smoot must improve on his 10 interceptions, but colleges have already taken notice and offered. However, the Wildcats did lose some offensive weapons, especially at running back and wide receiver. We expect Coach Douglas to have players ready to step forward, and one of the players we expect to have a big year is offensive lineman Roderick Green, who is already getting recruiting attention. But new skill players need to step up. However, what made the Wildcats such a good team last season was their defense. The Wildcats gave up an average of only 10 points per game. While the Wildcats lost some star power on defense, junior DeLon Bradley stepped forward with a breakout season, posting 82 tackles and 4 interceptions. Bradley will be the unit leader this year and the next big-time prospect to come out of the Wildcats program. In one of the best season opening games, Springfield will host Huber Heights Wayne. In Springboro, head coach Ryan Wilhite and the Panthers were tough last season. They finished with a 9-2 record, but after winning their first 6 games, the Panthers fell hard, getting shut out at home against Springfield. However, the Panthers didn't lose faith and finished the regular season out with 3 consecutive wins before falling in the playoffs' first round. Gone are senior quarterback Landon Palmer and two-way standout Tim Kessaday. Can Mikey Appel step forward at quarterback and lead the offense? He'll have a couple of weapons in running back Moise Armbruster, who rushed for a team-high 913 yards last season with 9 touchdowns, and wide receiver Titan Case, who has already pledged the Navy. Case led the Panthers with 738 yards receiving and 7 scores. Senior offensive lineman Ryan Imes, a Robert Morris pledge, leads an offensive line group with 3 returning starters back. The Panthers played solid defense last season, giving up 12.6 points a game on a senior-led squad. The team's top 8 tacklers have all graduated, leaving many wondering if the Panthers can repeat the results from a season ago. Springboro opens the season at home against a tough Northmont squad. In BEAVERCREEK, the Beavers finished last season at the conference's bottom with a 2-8 overall record. Head coach Nick Black will have to find a new quarterback, but returns junior running back Elijah Howard, who rushed for 353 yards and 5 touchdowns a season ago. Joining Howard are junior Davin Garnes, who rushed for 220 yards and a score, and senior Addison Culpepper, who added 209 yards and 3 touchdowns. On defense, seniors Jack Barnett and Anthony Johnston returned. Barnett posted 41 tackles and an interception, while Johnston added 32 stops and 1 sack. The Beavers gave up 382 points last season while only scoring 142 total points. BEAVERCREEK opens the season on the road against MIAMISBURG. At Northmont, head coach Tony Broering knows fans expect big things this season from a team with multiple Division I football pledges. One of the biggest questions during the offseason was who would take the place of quarterback Keaton Kessling. In mid-July, Green and quarterback Cade Rice announced his move into the district for his senior season and set the Thunderbolts offense up to thrive. Rice should fit right in as he passed for 4,174 yards and 48 touchdowns the past 2 seasons, while adding 1,900 yards rushing and 25 touchdowns. Rice will have a significant weapon in Michigan pledge Marcus Allen, who pulled down 51 balls for 1,087 yards and 15 touchdowns last season. Defensively, Broering returns Eli Newberg and Philip Quanshaw at linebacker. Quanshaw posted 105 total tackles with 5 sacks last season. Manning the secondary is another future Michigan Wolverine, Rod Moore, who posted 66 tackles and 4 interceptions. Northmont opens the season on the road against Springboro.
Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realize self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.
In Miamisburg, the Vikings look to improve under head coach Lance Schneider after going 3-7 last season. Known for his high-powered offensive attacks, Schneider saw his team struggle to score last season with an average of just over 13 points a game. However, the Vikings showed some young talent that is ready to step forward. Sophomore running back Christian Davis rushed for 525 yards and 4 touchdowns last season and showed he could catch the ball out of the backfield with 31 receptions for 453 yards and 2 scores. Also, keep an eye on junior Corwin Hurt, who can play running back or wide receiver, and Colin Ivey. Sophomore offensive lineman A.J. Sally is a player to watch in the 2023 recruiting class, but the question will be who takes the reins at quarterback. On defense, the Vikings must replace their top 2 tacklers, but return seniors Austin Plowman, Reese Bryant, and Dalton Ellis in the defensive backside. Senior defensive tackle Spencer Hager looks to anchor the front. The Vikings open at home against BEAVERCREEK. In Centerville, last season saw the Elks have streaks, some good, some bad. After road losses against Greater Miami Conference foes Fairfield and Lakota West, head coach Brent Allery got his team headed in the right direction. The Elks reeled off 4 consecutive wins, including a major road win over rival Wayne. However, the next streak saw 4 losses to close out the season. There was improvement and reason for great optimism as the Elks returned some key offensive players. National quarterback recruit Chase Harrison showed continued growth to his game, having connected for over 65% of his throws for 2,458 yards and 24 touchdowns, while only throwing 7 interceptions. Harrison has 2 receivers with future college potential in senior Will Linkhart, who pulled down 78 balls for 1,017 yards and 11 touchdowns, and sophomore Cameron Smith, who added 50 receptions and 7 scores. Someone will have to step forward at running back to keep teams honest, and improvement along the offensive line is needed. But scoring points should not be the problem for the Elks. If Centerville can show improvement on defense, they'll have a chance to add more wins in 2020. Senior linebacker Jonathan Bruder returns after posting 94 tackles with 4 sacks, and Matthew Graveline should continue to improve on his breakout performance last season. Senior Chris Artis anchors the defensive front, but must provide more pressure in his pass rush. The Elks open the season on the road at Kettering Fairmont. At Wayne, last season was a year of change in Huber Heights as longtime assistant Roosevelt Mukes took over the Warriors program. Mukes fully understands the history and tradition of the program as a 1985 graduate. Last season's 3-7 record is not what Mukes expected, but knew he was taking over a young team that needed time to grow. There is talent on both sides of the ball, starting with senior quarterback Cam Fancer, who passed for 1,944 yards and 7 touchdowns, while also rushing for 602 yards and 7 touchdowns. However, he will have to cut down on his interceptions and fumbles so the Warriors offense can use their weapons. Austin Mullins, RJ Mukes, and top 2022 prospect Elijah Brown all return after combining for 1,528 receiving yards. However, the trio posted only 6 touchdowns, with Mukes, only a freshman a year ago, having 4 of them. Over the years, the Warriors have proven they can produce offensive line talent, and things look solid with top 2022 prospect Emil Wagner and 2023 prospect Joshua Padilla. The Warriors defense returns their top 2 tacklers from a year ago, with defensive lineman Gerard Couch, who posted 80 tackles with 5.5 sacks, and under-the-radar safety Jaden Hurd, who added 73 stops. Junior Adam Trick is another prospect to watch in the 2022 class, who posted 50 tackles last season. However, the defense was the Warriors' weakness last season, and they must show improvement for the program to return to their winning ways. The Warriors will open the season on the road against Springfield in what should be a tough season opener. At Fairmont, Firebirds head coach Dave Miller saw his team take a step back last season, finishing 4-6 overall. However, teams know not to take the Firebirds lightly, as they will grind all 4 quarters. Junior quarterback Melik Hillen returns and should be more comfortable running the offense. Top 2022 prospect Tank Gant stepped forward with 814 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns. Hillen won't pass much, as the Firebirds keep things on the ground for the most part. However, junior Keon Wright returns and should add to his 268 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns and 129 yards receiving in 2 scores. Miller is also known for putting tough defensive squads on the field, and last season was no exception, as the Firebirds led the Greater Western Ohio Conference in giving up 227 yards per game. However, Trey Baker has graduated along with the team's other 3 top defenders. GWOC opponents know not to take the Firebirds lightly, making this season one where Miller and his squad could cause a few surprises. The Firebirds host Centerville to open the season. Who do you feel will win the GWOC this season? Let us know in your comments below on YouTube, or go to First Star Football Report and leave your comments there. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button and check out our other videos on YouTube. Also, check out firststarfootballreport.com.